Hey, hey, hey. Happy Wellness Wednesdays. Happy Rethink Wednesdays. Happy Wednesday, Cultural Fam. I'm hopping on for a live session. Now, last week I started the lunchtime lives, but this week I am in Dr. Shalian's boot camp. So I need to definitely make sure that I am available for that boot camp. Morning, welcome. So this week's live, I'm going to be talking about the power of your environment, cultural fam, right? Not just your built environment, but the things that you consume, or as I put it, what is consuming you. Hi, Mikhail. Morning. Right? And now I want to start off looking at the power of your environment, acknowledging there's some things in our environment, fam, we can't change. I acknowledge that. From a public health perspective, we can't just get up and move. We can't just change our homes. We may not be able to change in neighborhoods. So I want to acknowledge that before I get into it, but I also want to spend time in this session today talking about the things that you can control, the things that you do have autonomy over, but sometimes you may be feeling a little bit defeated in that area, right? So we're thinking about things like your physical environment, like your immediate environment. How is that being managed? How is it working for or against your goals? So we might be familiar with the saying, right, that you are what you eat. But I want to expand on that today and say you are what you consume, or in some instances, what is consuming you. What is taking up your time? What's taking up your energy? What's taking up your effort? And is it moving you closer to or further away from the goals that you have, your health goals, the things that you say you want to accomplish? So let's look at how this environment can set you up for success or set you up for failure. We're going to hop into, first off, your physical environment, and looking at your food, your physical activity, how you're maintaining yourself, how you're maintaining your immediate environment. Is that environment, is it filled with the things that you need to push you closer to your goals? Is it pushing the needle closer? If you know that you are struggling a little bit with cravings, right? Oh, okay. Is your environment full of things that feed into particular cravings and habits? Is your environment messy? Is it disorganized? Because that can have an impact on your energy. For me, I know if my environment is disorganized, it brings down my energy. I need to pull things together and make sure that I have an environment that supports the energy that I need to put into my work, the energy that I need to put into myself and my family. So looking at the actual state of your environment, is it organized in a way that makes things easier for you? When you're setting up your environment, the power of that environment, you want to make things easy as best as possible. You think about out of sight, out of mind. So the things that you need to have in front of you to get you closer to the goals that you have set, you need to put them out and make it easy. So you need to make sure your immediate environment is organized so that you can accomplish that. The next thing, when it comes to food, do you have certain foods available to you in your immediate environment to get you closer to the goals? So maybe you've met with someone, or hey, I need to get some more fiber, I need to get some more fruits and vegetables. Are they in the home? Or are the foods that are in the home, do they allow you to create more balanced meals? Or do you need to go out, pick up some things and make sure that it's there so that when you need it, it's available? Sometimes that takes a little time and effort and energy to make sure that you have certain foods on hand within your environment to reach for when you need it, right? Your social environment, social media. Do you get caught up in doom scrolling? Because sometimes people will say, I don't have time. But it's what you're putting your effort and energy into. How are you spending that time? Right? So social media doom scrolling can become one of it, but it can also be used positively. You can follow accounts, you can follow motivational things that help to pick you up, especially if motivation is an issue. You have the ability to use social media in a way that drives you forward, right? But you want to consider the social environment that you have. What are your relationships like? Your different relationships, your friendships, the relationships with your family. How does that impact your, do you have people who can hold you accountable to get up and go for a walk, to get involved in an exercise class, to eat a particular way? Or are you surrounded with people from a social perspective who may combat some of the changes that you want to make? So your social environment is also important, right? We looked at your physical environment. Now we're looking at your social environment and how it can work for or against. There are some people who say, hey, I want to make a change, and you're surrounded by people who will laugh it off. Ha, you eating that? You eating like a rabbit? That's what you're eating? Right? And it can bring you down, because making a change, let's be real, it's difficult. It can be really difficult. It takes effort to change some habits, to create new habits. So you want to know that you have a social environment that affords you that support. So that's going to be through your friendships, your relationships. Sometimes you have to seek out a community of people who can give you that, right? I work on that with my groups and creating community, so that if you don't have it at home and you need a community of people to say, you're doing well, keep going, there are communities like that exist. Maybe you already have that and you need to clean up the social media a little bit with what you follow and how it impacts you. So physical and social environment are important. We're looking at your mental environment. Where are you at? What's your mental state? What's your energy? What's your emotional state like? How do you manage those? Do you have a strategy that if you are in an emotional slump, that you have the right people to pull you out of it? Because I can tell you, having been there as well, there are some people, depending on my mood, I cannot speak to, because I know they are just going to perpetuate that emotional state. And then there are some people, you need to have some power people in your pocket. You are power to them and they are power to you. That when you are in a particular emotional state, they can speak words of power into your life and pull you through, right? So that ties into the social as well. Who do you have in your artillery of, that environment? What is the mental environment, and do you have the support to get through? Consider that. Consider, if you do not have those types of people, how can you seek it out? Who can I connect with that can bring that, can help me through that emotional and mental environment that might be filling my mind with limiting beliefs and mind garbage, as I put it, right? So the power of environment, not just the physical, we're going deeper. We're looking at your energy. What are you consuming? Food-wise, are the foods that you're consuming giving you energy? Right? Because sometimes you say, listen, I'm tired, I need more energy. It could be the food. Are you consuming energy-giving foods? Are you consuming energy-giving content? Are you engaging with energy-giving people? Or are you surrounded by energy drainers? Are you consuming foods that taste good for 2 seconds and later you regret it? It probably just wasn't that good, but it also is not giving your body the energy that it needs to thrive. Right? So we look at, where are you putting your energy? What are you consuming? Is it energy giving? Where are you putting your focus? What you focus on is what's going to grow and repeat and perpetuate and thrive. What are you giving your energy to? Right? There are times where I have had to acknowledge against certain relationships, certain habits, because if you self-sabotage, I do it at times, right? So I can relate to that. If you have a habit of self-sabotaging, you tend to put your energy into low vibrational things, right? Low vibrational foods, low vibrational shows, low vibrational people and relationships. and that energy drain, the energy that you need to be putting into making sure you're creating time to exercise, making sure you're going to bed an hour earlier, making sure you meal planning and prepping your foods for the week, going into drama and different things that pull you away from the goals that you say you want to pursue. So where's your energy going? How are you directing it? And are you consuming things that are giving you life, giving you energy, or draining it from you? And when we think about, if you can relate, leave a little comment, let me know. Yes, this is me. I know for sure it's me. I have fallen into the self-sabotaging trap. I have fallen into the poor environment trap physically, that physical environment of food and the immediate environment. Do I have what I need to have on hand? When I get a craving, do I have, the nutritious foods? I can feed my craving. I tend to like sweet. Yes, you can feed your craving, but do you also have the nutritious foods that are giving you that energy? Do you have the people in your environment that are supporting you? And if you don't, because that's a reality, we don't always have the, people who clap for us. But can you seek out communities of people that can support you and create that, even an online environment? And then to what you are consuming and what's consuming you. So when you think about a few tips for setting up your environment for success, let's look at the physical environment first. That's going to be my primary area of food and nutrition and setting up that environment. Sometimes it looks like making sure you are taking some time, whether it's weekly or every 2 weeks, however you shop, and make sure that you have certain things in your environment that support your goals. So if you want to lose weight, if you are trying to lower your blood sugar levels, are the foods that are around you supporting those goals? Now, I'm an all foods fit person, so I'm not saying don't buy the rice and don't buy the flour. Do you have the vegetables? Do you have the protein? Because sometimes it's very easy to eat a lot of carbs, become very carb heavy, and not have the balance of having the fiber on the plate, not have the balance of having enough protein on the plate as well. And it doesn't have to be meat. You can have your peas and beans. Do you have it there and prepped and ready? If you know that your mornings are very busy and you tend to rush out, can you create time the night before to plan for in the morning so that it's less of a rush and you have something there to grab and go? Are you setting up that environment in a way that allows you to thrive, that allows you to move the needle closer to the goals that you have? So prepping the night before, having the fruits and vegetables laid out in a way that you can see, put them at the front of the refrigerator. Sometimes we tend to push them at the back, and then when we find the lettuce, it's all soggy. Or I'm guilty of this, to the badge in the back all soggy. It's like, ooh, I was supposed to cook that, So put it to the front. So there is a reminder, pick up a little piece, drop it in the eggs, drop it in different little things. Make the environment easier for you to succeed, right? If your goal is focused on exercising more, moving your body more, okay, how are we creating the time? How are we setting up the environment? Are your clothes at the bottom of the cupboard? Are they to the back? Are they still in the laundry? Do they need to be washed? So set them out. Okay, I'm going to walk after work, so I need to make sure the shoes in the car. I need to make sure my clothes are in the vehicle, because if I have to come out and I get inside and that couch sees me, that's it. So set things up little by little. A really good book that can help with building little habits that go a long way is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I have it right here. So if you're like me and you love personal development things that you can, in your quiet time, sit, read, reflect, and figure out, how do I work on me? How do I get better at what I need to get better at? This is one of the books that I recommend. Still going through it. It's been a while. Sometimes I just go back to earlier chapters and stuff to just really assimilate the information. Yes, get you this book. And sometimes I order books on like Kindle to read. You need to write. I have notes all throughout. I have little height. You see, it's in pencil, so maybe you can't see it, but it helps sometimes to have it in front of you. Oops. It helps sometimes to have it in front of you so that you can connect with the material. And you said all of this really do make eating well and exercise. It does. It does. And take it from me, I've been there. I've been in the mental slump. If you've been following me, you know that I had been in a slump. I'm still grieving, and the emotional state can get really foggy, and that can just affect everything else. So sometimes you have to fight for that environment of success. You have to fight for what you are consuming, what you are consuming by your mouth. Yes, the types of foods that you're putting into your body, and are they energy giving foods, but also what are you sitting on and scrolling, what shows are you consuming, and the emotions that they evoke. Are you following things that make you feel bad about yourself to the point where you can't get up and act? So definitely that's a book that I recommend. Yes, I ordered mine on Amazon as well, so you can get it off of Amazon, but there's some local bookstores that you can get them. You just call and ask if they have it in stock, and they may have it on another branch to be able to get it for you. So personal development, I spoke about that last week. That's major in your wellness journey as well. And you want to follow things, you want to engage in things that make you feel good. Sometimes you know that you are in alignment when it feels good to you, right? If you want to exercise more and you hate running, my dear, there are so many options. You can go swimming, aqua aerobics, you can Pilates, you got different things that you can feel good about doing that you can actually commit to. Yes, there are different forms of cardio. You don't have to stick with one that doesn't feel good to you. It may not feel good on your body as well. So align yourself with things that feel good in this journey. Maybe you don't like tomatoes, but you like cucumbers. Get more of that, right? Align with things that feel good to you and your body and give you little wins along the way. We don't only want to celebrate, well, I hit my goal. This is an ongoing journey. And as it's ongoing, your goals and your perspectives and these things change. So we're never just trying to get to a destination. We're trying to feel good all along this journey. So you asked, do I have any concerns about eating plant-based in terms of missing nutrients? Thanks, that's an awesome question. It is possible to eat plant-based and still get your nutrition in, but it has to be well structured. It has to be well thought of. You have to make sure. What tends to happen sometimes is that people say, well, I'm eating vegetarian. Now, it could be, if it's vegetarian, you're still going to have some animal source of foods in there. If it's vegan, then we know we're removing a whole lot more, and it's still possible to hit your nutrients, but you have to be very strategic about it. Right? So sometimes people will be like, well, I ate rice and bhaji, I ate rice and spinach, and that was lunch because I'm vegetarian. And we're missing a lot of the protein. You get some protein in there, but you need to have your peas and beans, you need to have your nuts and seeds. You need to just be very conscious. Make sure that you get the guidance in terms of, for your specific needs, these are the foods that you need to be consuming in a particular amount with a particular frequency. But it's absolutely possible to eat plant-based and still hit your nutrient needs. There are a lot of people who do it, but you have to be very strategic about it, as well as make sure that you're not doing a whole lot of highly processed, high salt foods, because sometimes plant-based alternatives can be very processed, high in added salt, added sodium, and that can become an issue over time as well. But it is possible. Eating plant-based, however, is highly personal. You don't have to. You can eat, a style that's called flexitarian, the flexitarian style by another dietitian, DJ Blacklow. That's something that she really focuses on, but just eating with a lot of flexibility where you do a lot of plant-based foods, but then you also integrate some animal-based proteins sometimes. So maybe you eat meat twice a week, fish twice a week, and then just peas and beans the other 3 days. Like, you really get to mix and match it how you want to. But it is possible, and thanks so much for that question. Right? So I'm going to recap and start to wrap up. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. I am going to be logging off in about 2 minutes because I have to get to an appointment. But just to recap the power of your environment, right? Understand, again, There are some parts of your built environment you cannot change. You may not be able to change your home, your community, different things. So I'm not going at that level, but I am going at the level of what you do have some autonomy over. Your physical environment. Are you setting up certain things in your home? Is your home clean and organized so that your energy can thrive and you can pursue goals in a particular way, that your mood is boosted? Are you consuming foods that are energy giving? Are you consuming social media and relationships that are energy giving or energy draining? Can you prep in a way? On my stories this week, I spoke a lot about meal prepping and the importance and how it saved me time. This week, I did not expect my week to get as busy as it did, but it did. And it really helped to have had my meals prepped from Sunday and plated. I work from home, but I'm on the road at times. And to have the meals portioned already, just to throw in and heat and eat and go, right? So prepping things in a way, setting up the environment for success so that you don't have to default to going through the drive-through, and then when you hit the drive-through, it's only so many options that you have, right? You want to empower your environment to push the needle closer to hitting your goals, whether that's weight loss. I've done it myself. Whether it's managing blood sugar, I've done it myself for myself and my clients as well, right? So think about, what do I need to do from my physical, social, mental, emotional environment? How is my energy flowing? And how can I set up my environment to be more successful? All right, you're welcome. Thanks for your questions. And that's it for today's live. Thank you so much for joining me. And have a great rest of your week. And I'll see you again on our social media content, stories, posts, everything. Just stay connected for more content. All right. Have a great rest of your Weeting Wednesday, Cultural Fam. Bye.